Hi, artsy friends. My name is Tristina Dietz Elmes, and I'm an artist in Florida. I have the pleasure today of sharing with you some fun color mixing to create a patchwork color block artwork. We're going to be using the Pebeo Origin Acrylics for the color mixing. And what I love about these paints is they're rich and creamy right out of the tube. And of all the paint colors available, half of them are monopigments. Now, why is that important? That's important because when you go to color mix, it's a lot easier to get beautiful, clean color if you're working with tubes that have only one pigment in them. And the primary colors, even from the Origin Acrylics, the blue, the red, and the yellow are all transparent monopigments. And oh my gosh, they mix so beautifully. Let me show you some of the basics of color mixing with the three primary colors and white. Here is a set that I have already done. So there's the bright yellow, the cyan blue, and pinkish red. When you mix the blue and the red, you get a deep purple. When you mix the yellow and the blue, you get a bright green. And when you mix the yellow and red, you get a deep red orange. I'm adding dollops of primary yellow, and now we're going to make an orange with the primary red, but it wasn't orange enough, so I added some more yellow, and now I'm going to make a green with the blue. And whenever I color mix, I try to make sure that at least one of the colors that I'm color mixing with is a transparent color, because that will tend to give me clearer and more vibrant mixed colors. Now let's mix a purple with some of the primary red and blue. And I have a trick to add a little bit of titanium white to a dollop of it to be sure it's purpley enough for me. And if it's not, I adjust the colors, and there we go. Now I have my appropriate purple, and I'm adding some white to the green and to the orange to get my beautiful pastel colors. Let's do a quickie exercise with iridescent white and add it to these mixes that we made. You can take any color that you have, either in a tube or that you've mixed, and add this iridescent white and get lovely shimmery colors. So now I'm going to have a purple shimmer with that one. We're going to get an orange shimmer with this one. Nice. And we're going to get a green shimmer with this one. Wow, they look terrific. Now, one of the most unusual ways to mix with these paints is to throw in some of the fluorescent with the colors, be it the primary colors or any other colors, and watch your colors become more high key, which means your colors are going to pop. Now, I know some people have a concern about using fluorescents, but in this case, Pebeo's three fluorescents in the Origin line actually have a middle light fast rating, which is amazing. And here, the primary colors have the highest light fast rating. So if you take the highest light fast rating and you mix it together with a medium light fast rating, you still have an excellent light fast rating. They're fantastic. And here are the primary colors mixed together with the fluorescent yellow, fluorescent pink, and fluorescent green colors here. And you can see how bright the colors are. These are the supplies we'll use for this project: a palette paper pad, a canvas panel, the three primary colors of the Pebeo Origin Acrylics, a titanium white, and then for some fun, some fluorescent colors and an iridescent white. Also, we're going to be adding modeling paste, and we're going to start our canvas panel with black gesso that I like to apply with a color shaper tool. We're going to use the palette knives for color mixing and for applying the paint, and you may also need a paintbrush for touch-ups. Of course, we're going to need lots of paper towels. You'll want a container for water, and if you want to speed up the dry time, you may want a heat it tool. We're going to start with an artist panel. That's a canvas covered panel, and I put it on top of a couple of pieces of palette paper to protect my work surface. So this is a black gesso, extra thick. All right, let's put some out. And then I'm going to use my 2-inch wide color shaper to apply it to the surface. Here is the order in which we're going to mix the paints to get a shimmer blue, dark purple, bright green. We're going to allow that layer to dry. Then we're going to have a bright orange, a light purple, a light blue, and a pale green yellow. The first color we're going to mix is the shimmer blue using the primary blue and iridescent white. The next color we're going to mix is the purple, and we want a kind of a deep purple, so I'm using the primary red and blue to create the purple, and then you need to add a little bit of the titanium white because we want to be sure that that color will show up on the black background. And lastly, we're going to be making that bright green with loads of yellow and a little bit of the blue. But remember to put in your white because we do, again, need it to sit up on top of that black background. And now that our colors are mixed, we're ready to put them onto the dry gesso board. And we're starting with that brilliant shimmer blue color. In this next rectangle, I make a little mistake. So I grabbed the brush with some water and was able to clean up my little mess there. As you're putting these blocks on, you're going to want to avoid the previous colors that were already put down. So we are not overlapping any colors at this point. Relax, take your time, look at the composition. I actually pick it up and turn it around multiple times. And then when this is completed, and I am ready to allow it to dry, you can actually use your heat gun to begin the drying process. And that's what I'm going to do here. I just gently run over it and then the drying begins. When working with transparent colors on a dark background, often you can lose the color because of the translucency of the paint. So in order to get the paint to show up or to go over top of another paint color, I add modeling paste to the paint, and that helps to make the paint more opaque. The next layer of our painting, we're adding bright orange and light purple, and we're creating those using fluorescent pink. So we use the fluorescent pink and yellow to make orange, and now we're using fluorescent pink and primary blue to make a lavender color. And remember to add your titanium white, and then we're going to add some modeling paste to be sure this paint sits on top of the previous layer. Now we're ready for that pop of orange layer, and make sure that the layer underneath is fully dry before you start applying these on top. And remember, you can pick up that panel and turn it around to help you get the right square. Keep your brush and your water handy because you'll be able to use that to clean up any edges that may have gotten out of hand. And now we've got the light lavender going in. Make sure that you do not overlap the orange with the light lavender. You still have plenty of room, and you don't need to cover up all the black because there's actually going to be 2 more layers going on over top of this. Then grab your heat gun and start the drying. Here I'm creating the light blue layer using primary blue and titanium white. And then I'm going to put some of the modeling paste in there, which slightly lightens it as well. Make sure those underlayers are completely dry, and now it's time to apply the light blue blocks on top. You're going to notice they're going to look like they're starting to float over top of the painting. Leave yourself some room for the next layer and then set the painting aside to dry. Let's mix our final color, which is the pale green yellow. We're using primary yellow and fluorescent green here with some titanium white and our modeling paste. Now it's time for your final yellow-green layer. Take your time, turn the artwork all directions, and really place this final layer so that everything looks like it's floating. And I like to leave some black in the background as well. Leave yourself room for signature too. I hope you enjoyed that color exploration, and I invite you to try other colors of the Pebeo Origin Acrylics.